because this might be the best story I've ever told. Alright, you can... I really haven't picked out a name for this story yet, so you can call it Cirosan's Tale of the Disturbing Squirrels.
Alert! The control point is being captured.
And I might have placed the wrong qualifier in the wrong noun, but whatever. As you know, I go to a sort of D&D meeting every other week sort of thing. And there are a large assortment of colorful characters there.
What?
One of them regaled us with a story the other day that bears repeating. And essentially, he had to move. He was moving sort of thing out from an apartment to a bigger place. And another person from our D&D group was helping him move.
The control point is being
so, this, the guy who was moving, we'll call him Mike, and Mike in this case is a storyteller, and the dude who was helping him move was Matt. And about halfway through the moving day, you know, after a couple of hours of hauling couches and cabinets, whatever, Matt asks Mike, "You want to see something funny?" And he's like, oh, alright. So he takes him to his car, and at first you might think this is a Clyde Frog moment, it's not. He takes him to his car, he opens up the trunk, and inside the back of his trunk, he pulls out a caged squirrel.
We have lost the control point.
And he's like, what the hell? And he proceeds to explain to him that basically he has an abundance of squirrels around his house, so rather than shooting at them, he captures them and then drives them far away and then releases them so that they don't gnaw up his house anymore. You know, which is kind of noble that he doesn't kill him.
Yeah.
And that's what Mike said to him. Like, well, that's better than killing him. He says, well, this one's been in here for about 2 days. And he asks the obvious question, you've kept this thing in a closed, humid space for 2 days?
We have secured.
To which Matt
the control
replies,
point.
he's fine!
Alert! The control point is being captured.
Oh gosh.
Alert.
And he continues, because I wish it ended there, but sadly it does not.
Spy going to the roof. Spy going to the roof.
He says, well, it's better than what my dad does to these.
Our control.
He says, what does your dad do to the squirrels? And he goes, he drowns them so he doesn't have to waste bullets.
Oh god.
Let me repeat that. This man... he captures squirrels, and then so he doesn't have to waste money on gunpowder and bullets, drowns them in a bucket of tap water.
Mission ends in 30 seconds.
Oh lord.
What a good Samaritan, you know? And it doesn't end there.
Times you gotta watch your money.
Well, you do. Well, you know, you can imagine what the process for that is like, you know what I mean?
Oh
You
god.
just,
Mission
you know, because they're gonna bite you.
seconds.
They're gonna fight back, so...
5.
How would you put a really durable glove on?
1.
Of course.
Oh,
Don't you dare shoot me.
Tasty babies, you evil bastard!
It doesn't end there, it doesn't end there.
I don't think evil, I just eat babies. Wait.
You'll never get my lucky charm.
That was funny. I laughed.
Well, and bear in mind, no, it's not over. Keep in mind, basically, we during this, while this has been told, we've been sort of taking a break from our D&D session because the pizza's just arrived, and this is what we've been listening to as we've ate. And midway through the story, Matt, the guy who has the squirrels locked in the trunk, he gets up abruptly and he just storms out, and we all assumed, oh, he must be pissed, you know, because it's a very unflattering story. And about a minute and a half later, he walks back in very nonchalantly, and he has in his arms a rectangular cage with trapdoors facing either side, and inside is a live squirrel. And he says, totally calmly, like this is a normal thing. I got this one earlier this morning. and furthermore, he sets it down by the door to this hobby
Our
shop.
control point is being captured.
And both the DM and the owner of the store are eyeing him wearily, but he sets this caged squirrel down by the door and leaves it there for the remainder of the night. Here's the thing, we start playing at about 6 o'clock, we stop at 2:30 in the morning. He left that there the whole night, and occasionally we just heard this rattling around in the cage. Occasionally we would hear it chirping or something. You know, we would just hear this thing struggling throughout the night. You know, and we asked him, should we feed it some pizza or something? We don't want her to starve. He goes, he's fine! He's fine, he doesn't need anything.
Cirosan, have you ever listened to Garrison Keillor?
No, ma'am, I have not.
Garrison Keillor reminds me a lot of you, except he talks a little bit slower. And has a little more annoying voice.
Well, you gotta keep yourself understandable. Well, see,
Yeah,
so he keeps that thing there for the night, and he says that, well, you know, things they didn't always go smoothly for his little squirrel catching venture. And then it took him a while to learn the ropes, and there were several prior instances where things didn't go so well for him. One, for instance, he drove his car out into the middle of the wilderness, he opened up the cage, chipmunk ran out, then immediately hopped back into the trunk.
Our control point.
He had to cage it and take it further away and then re-release it. And then there was another instance where, there was another instance where he let the squirrel out of the cage, and basically the squirrel just scurried around, ran underneath his car, jumped underneath the dashboard, and was never seen or heard from again. They tried to find him. No, there was nothing, that sort of thing. You know, they tried to rustle about underneath there, they let some food out, they tried to lure him out, you know, they turned the car on for a few seconds hoping to scare him out with all the gas and the heat. Never seen or heard from again. But there is still evidence of his presence, because, and I quote this man directly, I don't know how it happened, but there's a squirrel nest on top of my carburetor.
10 seconds.
The end.
The control point.
I want to beat that man.
That's all.
All I have to say is let the names begin.
Yes. So what do you think? I think that's my best story yet.
I like it.
I agree. So good.
Scott Squirrel.
Definitely top 5.
Yeah.
Dungeons and Drownings. That's the name of the video. That's the name of the video.
Control point.
Oh,
That
that's
has to be
great.
the name of the video.
I'm gonna start crying.
Yeah, that's definitely the name of the story.
I can't play anymore. You're gonna have to temporarily ban me.
You sound like you belong in Arkham.
We have been awarded additional time.
He asks, Mike, he says, you want to see something funny? So he said, alright. And he takes him to his car. And this is not a Clyde Frog story, you'd be surprised, but he takes him to his car. He opens up the trunk, and he pulls out a caged squirrel.
A caged squirrel.
Hey, I know this map.
Really?
I think I have that
Oh,
one.
well, this is totally redundant now. I was
Were
telling
you
Johnny
auto-balanced?
Harass.
Oh, what a terrible point for you to be auto-balanced at.
I know, they'll never find out what's in the cage now.
The punchline's been totally ruined.
Well,
terrible.
no, that's only the first of
The
many.
mission.